In 1977, when two small spacecraft silently embarked on a journey into the ocean of stars, no one could have imagined that they were launching one of humanity's greatest and most awe-inspiring stories, a story that would carry our message beyond the planets and reflect back to us the true nature of who we are. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, twin spacecraft, built against the ticking clock of Cold War tension, conceived in a time when computers filled entire rooms and yet designed with an ambition bound only by the reaches of the cosmos. These were not missions fueled by profit or power, but by curiosity, an audacious dream to chase the distant planets and, perhaps, touch the very edge of the solar system itself. They were born from an era that dared to imagine, crafted with what we now call primitive technology, yet infused with the brilliance and hope of humanity's finest minds. These compact explorers were engineered not just to visit alien worlds, but to listen, to see, to remember, and to tell the story of all of us. As the Voyagers departed Earth's grasp, they turned their silent antennas toward the heavens. Their mission was grand, almost poetic, to reach Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, the outer giants. Planets shrouded in mystery, each a world of its own, swirling with strange weather, cloaked in rings and moons yet unseen. Their journey began with Jupiter, a storm-racked giant whose deep amber clouds swirl endlessly around a core of metallic hydrogen, a planet whose scale defies comprehension. Voyager 1 flew past in 1979, beaming back images more vivid than anything imagined before. It revealed Jupiter's great red spot in staggering detail, an anticyclonic storm larger than Earth, raging for centuries. It found lightning storms more powerful than we knew nature could allow. The magnetic field of Jupiter, too, came alive through Voyager's eyes. It was immense, pulsing with invisible force, carrying charged particles that danced across its vast magnetosphere. Radiation belts powerful enough to obliterate electronics, and yet our tiny spacecraft passed through, persistent, unyielding. And then there were the moons, Io, a tortured, volcanic world, more geologically active than Earth's entire surface. Europa, covered in fresh ice, hiding a mysterious, possibly life-sustaining ocean beneath. Ganymede and Callisto, ancient ice rock worlds, each bearing scars of cosmic history. Before Voyager, these names were just points of curiosity. After Voyager, they became landscapes, rich with texture, beauty, and questions. From Jupiter's dominion, the spacecraft turned their gaze toward Saturn, the jewel of our solar system. In 1980, Voyager 1 approached the ringed planet and captured details never before seen. What once looked like smooth rings through our telescopes were now revealed to be a complex structure of icy particles, some as small as grains of sand, others larger than houses, orbiting with mesmerizing precision. Kinks, braids, and dark gaps whispered of magnetic forces, shepherd moons, and the invisible fingers of gravity at work. Saturn's moon Titan revealed itself too, a world with a thick orange atmosphere concealing its surface beneath layers of hydrocarbon haze. It looked eerily familiar, Earth-like in many ways, yet frozen, distant, and alien. This hazy moon would later become one of the most studied objects in the solar system, but it was Voyager that first brought it into the spotlight. As Voyager 2 followed months later, emboldened by the insights provided by its twin, it charted a more daring course and ventured where no human probe had ever gone, to Uranus and Neptune. Uranus emerged haunting and beautiful, a pale blue-green orb tilted nearly perfectly on its side, a planet rolling around the sun like a wheel rather than spinning like a top. Voyager 2 reached it in 1986, capturing the first and, to this day, the only close-up images of its mysterious atmosphere. It discovered 2 new rings, 11 new moons, and passed through a massive plasmoid, a magnetic bubble, ejected from Uranus's twisted magnetic field. The planet's temperature, colder than anywhere else in the solar system, registered at a bone-chilling 353 degrees, 214 degrees C. Then came Neptune. In 1989, Voyager 2 arrived at the final world in the Grand Tour. The planet's winds, measured at over 1,200 mph, made it the stormiest body in the solar system. Dark spots, massive storms larger than Earth, roamed its blue atmosphere. The spacecraft flew close by Triton, Neptune's largest moon, where it found nitrogen geysers erupting into space and a surface so smooth it resembled frozen glaciers. Triton, retrograde in its orbit, hinted at a violent past, possibly captured by Neptune long ago. But the most iconic image from the entire mission wasn't of Jupiter's bands, Saturn's rings, or Neptune's storms. It was of Earth. In 1990, as Voyager 1 crossed the threshold of the solar system, scientists commanded it to turn around, one last time, and take a parting photograph of its birthplace. The result was a tiny, fragile dot suspended in a sea of darkness. The pale blue dot. A single pixel, 0.112 pixels to be exact, adrift in a shaft of sunlight, caught purely by chance as the spacecraft quietly sailed over 4 billion miles from home. That image became a mirror for humanity. It said, "This is it. Everything we are, ever were, all our stories, our struggles, our love, our histories, they all happened here, on this tiny speck in a sunbeam." Carl Sagan, the astronomer and champion of the Voyager mission, reflected on that photo with words that would echo through generations. He reminded us of Earth's fragility, of our shared home, of the need to cherish it, for there is no other. Today, both Voyager spacecraft have passed beyond the influence of our Sun. Voyager 1 crossed the heliopause, the boundary marking true interstellar space, in 2012. Voyager 2 followed in 2018. This crossing was more than a milestone. It was a moment of quiet triumph. The first human-made objects to leave the solar system, to taste the vast emptiness between the stars. But even here, emptiness is a misnomer. Voyager's instruments continued to hum, picking up faint plasma waves, subtle vibrations in the background of space-time. These sounds, once thought to be silence, told us that even in the void, the universe whispers. The solar wind gave way to interstellar winds, and with them, new revelations about the unseen fabric between stars. And through it all, the spacecraft kept talking. Weak signals travel over 14 billion miles, taking over 18 hours to reach Earth, yet they still deliver science that remains unmatched. It's like hearing the heartbeat of a traveler at the edge of forever. But time is relentless. The plutonium power supply that drives the Voyager spacecraft is fading. Systems have been powered down. One by one, instruments go silent. Yet each decision made by mission control is deliberate, a careful balance of energy and survival. After more than 4 decades, a spacecraft now operates on less power than a light bulb, yet still expands our horizon with each tiny pulse. And then, there's the golden record, perhaps Voyager's most poetic feature, a 12-inch gold-plated copper disc affixed to each spacecraft, carrying the essence of Earth, sounds of our planet, greetings in 55 human languages, from Akkadian to Urdu, the cry of a baby, the beating of a heart, music from Bach, Beethoven, and Blind Willie Johnson, images of human life, nature, cities, mountains, and DNA. The golden record is not just science, it is art. It is humanity's greeting card sent into the void, with no guarantee it will ever be found, but with enduring hope that it might. Perhaps someday, somewhere, someone, or something will pick up that record and hear us. Maybe they'll understand, maybe not, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we tried. What matters is that in a tiny moment of our civilization's story, we dared to write a message to the stars. The journey of the Voyagers is deeper than science. It is philosophical, existential, spiritual. They have become time travelers, threading their way through the galaxy, untouched by politics, borders, or wars, carrying not just machines but meaning, reminding us that even in our smallest creations, we have the power to express our greatest dreams. Their discoveries inspired entire generations: engineers, scientists, poets, artists. Future missions, from Hubble to James Webb, from Europa Clipper to interstellar probes yet to be imagined, all trace their lineage to these humble craft. And long after their power fades, long after their final transmissions go silent, they will continue to drift, alone, but not forgotten. Long past the extinction of languages, even perhaps past the lifespan of Earth itself, the Voyagers will carry a unique proof that for one brief moment a species existed that looked up and reached out. A species that, despite its flaws, held wonder in its eyes. So as Voyager 1 and 2 voyage into the unknown, leaving behind our sun, our planets, our pale blue dot, they do so not in vain, but as symbols, beacons, echoes of a time when we looked at the stars and whispered, "Let's go." And into that darkness, into that silence, they went, still traveling,